You ready to do some gardening, boy?
Yeah.
William? Perpetually bewildered. Alright, get your shoes on. Let's go outside. Alright, you want to open the door? Come on, babe.
Here.
Okay, I need to grab this rose here. I'm going to put it in the garden. I got some new roses in. One of them is a tangerine skies, which I already have a couple of tangerine skies in pots. Also got a Lady Banks. Those of you who bought those after I visited the zoo last year, I finally got that, but I got my rugosa rose for my tea garden. I'll come back over and grab that. I need some scissors. Alright. So, Benjamin has his green stalk in the tea garden. It started as my project green stalk to see how much I could grow in one, but one garden boy kind of took it over. And so I got you some plants here to put in for the fall and for winter. Here we have some kale, different kinds of lettuce, lots of different kinds of lettuce because I know you love salad. And these are actually edible flowers. They're violas. And so these can go on a salad. Thought you might like some of those. All right, let's take these trays over to the garden. So it's about 7:30 in the morning right now. You may be able to hear that it's quite windy. Hopefully that does not hinder us being able to make a video. But I'm out here trying to beat the rain because we're supposed to get more rain today. Here we go. We got it all ready here. What'd you say?
The lemongrass has gotten real tall.
The lemongrass did get really tall. I actually think that like the basil and stuff like that, those zinnias, I could probably just cut all those back. Maybe some more would grow before the frost, but I wasn't planning on trying to plant a whole lot more in the beds before it freezes. So I'm going to wait to put this video up. The morning of September 30th, Greentalk is starting their warehouse sale where they're like closing out and discontinuing multiple different varieties. Technically the 30th is the early day. The sale officially starts on the 1st, but if you go to the website on the 30th, if you're already signed up, you'll get the email, but if you're not, you can go put your email in and it'll unlock the sale. So you can get there the 30th. I got kind of the preview email for affiliates, and they said that this is like the lowest prices they've ever had. So I called and asked, and they said that actually it really is because they're discontinuing some, but that some of the stock is expected to sell out pretty quickly. So I wanted to make sure that I posted this first if you've been wanting to get a green stalk and you want a good deal. And you can stack the Roots 10 coupon code for an additional discount. I'll put a link to it down below. We obviously love our green stalks. I've made tons of content about them over the last several years. If you are a researcher and want to find out like how to have success, I did a video last year like troubleshooting, talking about like how to best grow in containers and how to optimize a green stalk. I'll put a link to that video also if you want to have more information. We like green stalks even though we have plenty of space, especially for salad greens, right? So right now we've got this one taken apart. We had a bunch of stuff growing in this over the summer. It had lots of tomatoes, cucumbers, some peppers, green beans, and we harvested a good bit out of it. Multiple, and what?
8.
Oh, we ate a good bit. You're right, we did. Yeah, Ben, every time we came out here, Ben had cheeks full of cherry tomatoes and hands full. So what we did is we take it apart. We will put just a little bit of extra soil, a few inches of fresh soil on top. I do not replace the soil every single time. It's not necessary. I am going to fertilize this. I use like a organic liquid fertilizer and feed it about every 2 weeks, especially growing all of these leafy things because leafy things love nitrogen. Nitrogen helps them grow more leaves. So, yes, babe.
Do you think a green stalk weighs? Or do you think it weighs more than me?
I'm sure it weighs more than you, yeah. You're fine standing on that thing. Because what do you weigh, 60 pounds?
Like 70 maybe?
Maybe 70, yeah. Green stalk weighs more than 70 pounds. With all 5 tiers full of soil, it definitely weighs more than 70 pounds. That helps it stay standing whenever the wind blows hard. If you want me to help you plant, I can. Or you can pick what goes in each pocket.
I want to pick.
You want to pick? Okay, well come on, brother. Let's do it. That's a rose. Actually, probably need to do something with it so it'll start growing up. I'm going to have to talk to Dad. he's going to build like a little arbor thing there.
Let it go around it?
Yeah, it'll go up over. That's an arbor rose, kind of like the tangerine skies that I love so much. Bear, you know you're not allowed in here. Go on. Just too tempting to pee on things. Sorry, brother. You're a good boy, but you cannot come in this garden. He is the primary reason this garden has a fence. Nice. Good job. You know what to do. So we still have a little bit of a, there's a basil plant right here, which is nice because actually I don't think I have any other basil that hasn't gone to seed. And then here's another one, which those will die at the first frost, but we'll go ahead and let them grow in here.
I have a frost coming?
Well, sure, the frost is coming every year. Ben loves salad, isn't that right, Ben?
I can't put all this on.
It's so wet. It's okay though. As long as you get a good bit of the roots, they'll be fine. There's so much rain in the next few days. When your transplanting starts like this, you know, when it's really hot outside, you want to try to get as much root as possible, but like these are breaking off kind of short because they're just so saturated from sitting out in the rain. But it's fine. With as wet as it's going to be, having a smaller root system to get established, it won't matter. Those are red romaine lettuces. And then these are some sort of like curly lettuce. This is a spotted lettuce. I know one variety of this is called like spotted trout, and I don't know which one this is. I got these at the local nursery, Seven Oaks Plant Shop, for those of you who are local. This is like a greens mix, like a mesclun mix. So this is like a spicy kind of mustard mix, Ben. And then that's cabbage, actually.
Hey, it came out.
Yeah, that's cabbage. And I figured we would experiment with cabbage in the green stalk, but let's not put a whole bunch of those in there because I've never done that before, okay?
It's maybe one.
Just one, that's fine. And then right here, Ben, these are kales. So here's dino kale.
Yeah.
And then like a red kale. And then this is like a ragged jack looking kale.
Why is it called dino kale?
That's just the variety. It's called Nero Toscana, I think is the actual name, and people call it dino kale. And then this is just like a regular curly kale. And then these are actually my favorite lettuces right here. These kind of butter crunch leaf lettuces.
What is this?
I'm pretty sure that's more cabbage. So if you don't plant all the cabbages, I'll plant them in the high tunnel. That's dino kale. You like dino kale, don't you? You remember that's the one that has the long, thin leaves. Very nice, sir. The spotted lettuces. Make sure you're planting it right next to the edge so we can put them together easily without crunching them.
What's this one?
Well, that's in the mesclun mix, so that's a different. That looks like arugula. Oh, I love arugula. And then that also looks like a mustard planted together with it, which both of those will be kind of spicy. Good on burgers.
This one's a mix, right?
It is. All right. Let's see. I haven't been out here in a couple months. Jackson was hanging out in this garden, like bringing meals out here and eating multiple times. Oh, I have found dishes in my garden that I didn't leave, and it's Jackson leaving them. Oh, look at those. Aren't those so pretty? I love those black violas. I love black flowers. So violas are edible. They're really pretty on salads, especially in the, cool weather. Food is maybe just a touch less colorful. We got a lot more green, and so being able to add all this color to our food is really cool. They don't taste like much. You want to eat one of the flowers, Ben?
Sure.
Make sure you stay near the edge. All right, let's try a viola flower. So what these are really pretty for is like baked onto sourdough and stuff. They don't really taste like anything.
I think we're doing.
Yeah, you don't want to eat any of that soil, Bib? Better not, huh?
This one?
Do you want me to give you a flower? Or are you just going to plant one?
I can plant them.
Yep, that looks like one you don't have yet.
Hey, there's one for everything.
Yep. So over here is where I planned for my rugosa rose and then didn't buy one this year. and had analysis paralysis, so I grew weeds here instead. Now I have some volunteer holy basil, which I'll probably just leave that. I'll put this rose in. You know, the rose will have a little bit of time before the frost comes, but roses are pretty hardy, so it'll be okay. And this will die back when the frost comes, so just give me a little something to harvest in the meantime, and the rose won't mind sharing with it, and get all this awful grass out of here. So right here, all of this holy basil actually came from that holy basil going to seed, so I'll probably go ahead and tear that out. But this is nice because until it freezes, you know, late October, early November, I can harvest this and still make basil tea.
I've gotten 4 done.
You've gotten 4 done? You're doing great, man. We're actually supposed to get hit all week by the hurricane. But the second hurricane started to form out in the ocean, and I guess the pattern from it actually is pulling the first one away from the East Coast. So a few days ago, my 10-day forecast was literally 10 straight days of heavy rain, and now we've just got a few more. It's been raining for a few days, but we've got a few more days, and then it's supposed to actually be pretty nice. Okay, you can do another cabbage, that's fine. So I'm very relieved about that. We had like started to make a little hurricane prep, make sure that we have fuel and water and all that stuff, fuel to run our generators, because Helene a year ago this week just took us so off guard. We were not prepared, and I will not make that mistake again. So we got ready this week, and it looks like we're not even going to need to be ready, but I would so much rather that be the case than have another situation where we needed to be ready and we aren't. Y'all done? Let me see. Wow, beautiful planting, Ben.
Wait, no, I missed one.
You missed one. What's one more thing you want a little more of? That red lettuce, huh? You like that? I cannot believe my little garden boy is so grown up. He's going to look for Maya. Just hops on the four-wheeler and drives away. Like a 10-year-old would. Just still in denial about that. Okay. I'm trying to decide. I think I'm just going to do it. I'm sitting here being like, you know, I could go ahead and start cleaning out these dead plants. I'm going to do it. It's going to start raining here any minute. Oh, well, I wanted to tell y'all this. So, planting the green stalk all out like this and then stacking with the plants, it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. For a lot of people, it will be easier to just go ahead and put your green stalk together and then plant it. But for a little person, you know, planting all of these things, it's definitely easier for him to do it this way. And so I'm just going to get Jeremiah to help me stack the tiers and have him lower it, and then I'll guide it and make sure that we're not crushing any plants. You just want to make sure you're planting them along the edge. Again, you could put it together and plant first, but I did it this way because I knew it would be easier for Ben. You know, Ben, I was thinking we could take, I'm going to clean out a space, and I was thinking we could take the rest of those edible flowers and fill up one of these beds. What do you think? Sure? Okay. Alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and clear this bed for the edible flowers. This has a bunch of basil in it. So when I'm clearing beds, like sometimes I will just cut plants off at the root. Since I'm about to replant this, I'm just going to rip these out, shake it off real good to try to save as much of the soil as possible. And we will toss those. So here I've got a little bit of this lemon basil that reseeded.
It smells so good.
It does smell good, doesn't it? This reseeded, I'll leave it because, like I said, on the holy basil over there, I'm not going to get a lot off of that because it's going to freeze in probably a month or so, and that'll kill it. But
I'm going to tie this up so it doesn't.
Yeah, it's probably about time to harvest some of that.
What is lemongrass used for?
Tea. Primarily. People use it in cooking too, but I haven't done a whole lot of that. I really like it in tea though, it's very nice. But yeah, any basil that I get out of here will be more than I would have had if it didn't volunteer. Good gardening, brother.
This one's small, so I didn't have to use it.
Yeah, that's fine. So these zinnias are pretty spent also. So all these dried heads, I'm going to pop these and just drop them because I would really love to have lots of zinnias here next year. And I probably already will for as many heads already dried up. There's actually a few down here popping up. Let's see. I doubt these will flower before the freeze kills them this year. But by dropping all of my seed heads just in this bed, I should have a pretty early year of volunteers next year. And these were so pretty.
Pile of basil growing in there.
What'd you say?
Maybe you could have a big pile of basil growing in there.
Right there, and could. It probably will volunteer some, but we mow right there, so it probably won't make it very far. Now, it will probably grow all in the walkways here from where it hung over.
You make the garden smell good.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, what do you want me to pull this now?
No, leave that. That's oregano. It'll live over winter. It got really overshadowed by that basil, so if we kind of tuck it back in here, it'll grow roots wherever it's touching.
Spiders.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll still be okay.
Mom, is there anything else I can pull?
Anything else you can pull? That basil right there.
All of this?
So,
Is this?
yeah, that's basil. This is tarragon. Leave it.
Tarragon sounds like a dinosaur name.
Tarragon sounds like a dinosaur name. Yeah, pull that, and then this holy basil right here, Ben. Man, you're doing the hard work for me. What a gentleman.
All of this basil?
Yes, sir. Doesn't that smell nice?
Yeah.
I can smell it over here from you. You're shaking it.
And is this also tarragon?
Yes, that's also tarragon on the other end. Good eye. You know what I think I'm going to do right here? And what was this zinnia bed? Of course, it has a lot of little volunteer plants. I'm going to let them go because, you know, on the off chance that we get a really late freeze, maybe they'll do something and we'll have flowers again. But I think I'm going to tuck some calendula seeds in here because they actually can live through a freeze. And I could potentially have flowers in this bed over winter. Of course, really any winter planting is a bit of a gamble. No, that is verbena. I think I'm going to try cutting that back and seeing if it comes back next year, so just leave that in. There is one more basil plant right there though. You could try to pull this pineapple sage right here. It just did not do well with the drought we had. There you go. Good job, strong boy. Those are both hyssop. We'll cut those back because I think they may make it. I'm going to put this tarragon back a little bit. See, maybe it'll root a little more. So the lady at the nursery told me that the trick to violas and keeping them blooming is to stay on top of deadheading them.
What's that?
So it's where you pull off the blooms that have already bloomed and they start drying up, which, I mean, that's kind of the trick to anything because plants are just trying to make seeds. Flower
Mom,
heads.
these are sideways.
It's okay, they'll stand up. There's a spider, watch out. All right, good job, Ben. Here's my rose. It's called Rosalina. It is a rugosa rose, which means it makes rose hips, which is what I wanted it for here in the tea garden because rose hips are great for tea and for, you know, herbal medicine. So I'm going to plant it kind of towards the back corner a little bit. This is going to be a pretty good size rose and I really want it to like tumble over the back edges in the corner of this garden. Y'all, I broke my camera. Well, I didn't break it. Years of heavy use broke my camera and I can't put it on a tripod right now until I fix it. So you get the soil level view for the time being. This is a thorny rose. Okay, I want to make sure that the crown of this is covered. So a lot of roses are grown on rootstock. They're grafted because a lot of roses are really fragile. And if the point where it was grafted, which is always down towards the bottom, is exposed and not covered by soil, it can start growing up from the rootstock. So if you ever planted like a really fancy tea rose and then you ended up with like a plain red rose, you know, real basic looking, kind of shooting up from the middle of your plant. That's what happened. So it's best to plant them making sure that middle part down at the bottom is like fully covered. I can't remember. This one may be on its own roots. I don't even remember, but I'll have to look. It doesn't hurt it to plant it like that either way. You know, I have a hard time leaving garden space blank. I'm sitting here looking at these little spaces and I'm like, you know, I could throw a cabbage in there. I'm not going to. I have high tunnel space and that would be a better place to grow cabbages. They have a better chance in there. I could throw a cabbage in there though. Theoretically, I could. Alright, Maya's walking over here. He was finishing chores. Starting to drizzle, so I think we're going to get the green stalks stacked just in time for me to go inside. So every time I come out to this garden and work for 30-45 minutes and get so much done, like I can get this whole garden weeded in like 10 or 15 minutes. I can, you know, we come out here and we weed eat it and I deadhead, I cut things back, water. I mean, it never takes more than an hour. I'm always like, what am I doing? Like, it's my big garden, I can work all weekend and not get everything done. This makes me feel like such a winner. Hello, sir. Can I get a hand? Okay, so I'm just gonna lay these plants to the edge while he brings this down. Make sure everybody's okay. Click them together. Alright, there we have it. Looks good. Alright, it's starting to drizzle out here. I'm going to get my camera out of the rain so I don't have more than a broken tripod area to deal with. So today was the first day I've gardened in a little while and it feels good. It feels good to have my nails dirty again, although I did break a few of them. I knew having nails wouldn't last long. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I bless you. Until next time.